Hello, friends, and welcome to a brand new Realm News Flash. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. Today is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. It is a new week, and Mojang has once again released a new snapshot. Java Snapshot 26W06A to be precise. This is also available on Bedrock Edition. Mojang has been busy delivering us a whole range of new mob variants, flora, and new ambiance in general. In today's episode, I'll be covering a few topics: chicken variants, dry grass, and the cactus flower. After explaining the newest snapshot, I will tell you all what to expect in this upcoming Thursday's episode of Realm News. So, whenever you are ready, let's start the show. It's poll time! That's right, folks. It is poll time. And this is unorthodox for a Realm News Flash, but I would like to start with a poll I conducted on Twitter, now X, in light of the new snapshot release. I made this on February 5th, the same day the snapshot came out. I asked this question, quote, "So, what is your favorite feature in the snapshot 25W06A?" End quote. I then listed off 4 options: cactus blossom, chicken variants, egg variants, short/tall dry grass. It garnered a modest outcome, but I'm grateful to those who voted. Also, it is not the smallest poll I have ever done before on any of the shows. So this one had a total of 16 votes. I think the smallest I probably had was, 5 maybe in the course of a year. I think I probably had 5, and I probably did that at the beginning of my podcast. Anyways, let's get this going. I would like to tell you about it. The Cactus Blossom tied in last place with 12.5% of the votes. It shared the same piecemeal margin of votes as the egg variants. They too had 12.5%. Chicken variants came in second place with 31.3% of the votes, and short/tall grass won with 43.8%. I found the votes to be extremely interesting, not because the chicken variants who I voted for didn't win, but because I thought the chickens were hands down the favored option here. However, the results said something else entirely, as I just listed off. I'm rather pleased to see this result. If you remember, I said that I loved the bush in the last snapshot, 25W05A. I think it fills the barren landscape and augments the game's immersion factor. Since the dry grass won the poll, I will start by explaining dry grass. Yeehaw, partners! All this dry grass has me feeling old Western. Is it just me, or are the deserts and badlands getting an entire makeover? No matter. I love it. These arid biomes will no longer look so desolate and, well, let's be honest, boring. There are 2 different sizes of dry grass, short and tall. They both function exactly the same way as one another, which is a bit odd to me. I would figure that the tall, dry grass would produce, more compost or something. I found a list on Minecraft.wiki that I will provide here for you all today in the show description. Now, I'd like to start with physical characteristics. Both tall and short dry grass are 1 block high structures, both, which is another thing that I found kind of unusual. Their natural generation will be they'll be found in the desert and badland biomes, and they can be placed on sand, terracotta, dirt blocks, and similar to dead bush, how they can be placed. And I believe that's with using Silk Touch tool. That's the only way you can use it. And using shears as well. So I'd probably go for the shears because Silk Touch, I've still not ever got that yet. You'll be able to use bone meal on these, and applying bone meal to tall dry grass may result in nearby short dry grass to grow and sprout, so that'll allow you to reproduce it. You can also put this in the composter, and by doing so, One of these has a 30% chance to add a layer to the compost. So that's even better. Sheep can also eat tall, dry grass to regrow wool. So that'll be handy as well. You can use it for fuel. They're capable of smelling 1/2 of an item, which is also practical for these type of biomes that are very desolate. I just find this to be so handy when hiking out there. I think it's going to be great to have this as a new fuel source to complement the dead bush that we have already. And it will be handy for cooking and smelting when in a pinch. I also enjoyed that we have another item to throw into the composter just for additional bone meal purposes. But remember, you need silk touch or shears for all that. So just take some shears. I always carry shears now. I remember when I first started this podcast, I didn't always carry shears. But I believe it was probably a poll I conducted a long time ago. And in the comments, a lot of people said that they carry shears on them. So I started to do the same thing. I'd like to now move us on to the next portion of this drop, chicken variants. The overworld continues to diversify its mobs, now with the chicken. After we have received pig and cow variants, we now have 2 new chicken variants that reflect the others. Cold biome chickens and warm biome chickens. They each have their own characteristics, as you'll soon hear. I want to start with the cold chicken. The cold chicken has dark gray blue feathers and a unique head with feathers that drape over it like a headdress. It looks really cool, pun intended. Also, they have tail feathers, which I find to be just a great detail that Mojang added. Another cool feature is that the cold variant chicken will lay blue eggs. The blue eggs will hatch more cold chickens. I'm a huge fan of the egg variations as well. It adds so much more complexity to the game. The cold chicken can be found in these biomes I'm about to read off. Old growth pine taiga. Old growth spruce taiga. Sorry. I can't talk today. I don't know why. Old growth spruce. That's actually just a tongue twister. Try that at home. Old growth spruce taiga. Say that 5 times fast. Moving on. Taiga, snowy taiga, windswept hills, windswept gravelly hills, and windswept forest. Next, I'm going to introduce you to the warm chicken. The warm chicken looks warm, but that orangish hue, almost as if it's been out in the sun too long. You may also have noticed that it's missing its tail in comparison to the cold cousin if you've seen any pictures. Allow me to tell you where you will find these warm chickens in their biomes. They'll be found in the savanna plateau, windswept savannas, jungle, sparse jungle, bamboo jungle, eroded badlands, wooded badlands, and just plain badlands. The warm chicken will lay a brownish egg, and it looks really cool. I urge you all to go check it out. Actually, go sign up to my Patreon, and if you're a copper member or above, you'll receive these newsletters, and I have all these cool images in these newsletters. And I have all this info in a nice format for you, and you can read this. I know people love it. I've got feedback from one of my copper tier member that they love it. So just go sign up today and check out all these newsletters. I produce about 2 of them a week, sometimes 3, because right now I'm doing, actually that's for, I think that's copper members as well and above, but it's the Secret Fridays, the 10 of them with the one Saturday that was a secret that was made by Notch in the very, very beginning days, like before it was even fully developed Minecraft. And I've been doing this really cool in-depth fun facts over that in newsletter form. So go sign up today. You'll like all that. I think people enjoy it, or I've been getting good feedback, and it's well worth the price. So go check it out. I think you guys will all enjoy it, and it's found at my Patreon Realm News, which can be found at bio.link/Realm News. That link is located right there. So let's move on. The warm egg will hatch into warm chickens, and I'm just excited to collect these new variants and their eggs. I'll put them in my item frames. I should let you know that these new poultry varieties will have the same drops in feathers, eggs, and meat as regular chickens. Like, they aren't going to drop different colored feathers from what I've read. That I know other people want that as well, but I don't think we're going to get that. Who knows? Personally, I think they should implement different colored feathers in the game. Just my opinion. Now, I'd like to move on to the cactus flower. Next, I present you the cactus flower. This beautiful flower that will bloom on cacti across the deserts is much needed, in my opinion. It will be an extremely welcome sight to the eyes when traversing the beige sand dunes that seem to be never ending. Not only are these flowers great for aesthetic purposes, but they have many other functions as well. Here's a comprehensive list of their abilities. I want to start with the cactus flower characteristics. Here's a description I have here. A flower that can occasionally be found on cacti in the desert and badland biomes. The cactus flower will be positioned on cactus blocks or any block that provides central support on its top. That's its technical hearsay there. Here's some growth chances I'll throw at you. For a cacti 1 or 2 blocks high, there's a 10% probability of a flower growing instead of the cactus gaining height. For a cacti 3 blocks high or more, the chance increases to 25% chance. So that gives you a little bit insight of, or a little bit of knowledge of how they'll sprout. The requirements for this growth is it needs open space on all 4 sides in order for it to flourish. And it can be harvested without any tools. So you can just break it with your bare hands. And there's some uses for this flower. It could be added to a composter, and that'll increase it by 30% of it, adding an additional layer to that compost. Another cool use, they could be used as a crafting ingredient to produce 1 pink dye. We've been getting, it feels like, a lot of new dye ingredients. If you remember, the eye blossom flower provides 2, depending whether or not you pluck it when it's open or closed. So we're getting all these new dyes, and I think it's just great. It's making it more economical to dye things. They can also be used to breed bees and to pollinate them, which I find to be awesome. They'll buzz around these pink yet prickly plants now, which will be so cool in the deserts. Which I have my palace, Lord's Landing, overlooks Lemanosa Desert Island, and there's cacti all over that the Karth Desert there. That's why I named it the Karth Desert. And so that's going to be great for me to get some bees out there. If you know me, which I imagine most of you do, then you know that I love bees. So if the cactus flower is good enough for a bee, then it's good enough for me. Please drop a comment and let me know what your favorite new feature is in Snapshot 26W06A at the Realm News Patreon found in the show description, or at bio.link/Realm News. Now, while I'm reporting, I'd like to include a tweet made by Minecraft at 11:32 a.m. that reads, wait, what was the date on that? I don't think I got that thrown in here. I apologize. Oh my gosh. I believe it was on the 5th. Yes. Now, no, it wasn't the 5th. It was the 6th. Fact check me. But the tweet says, this is a post of a post that says this is a post. Yeah, it's really unusual. And it's this post sign that is placed on in a village. It looks like a plains biome village next to a wooded biome of some sort. And it has some sugar cane, some tall grass, a lot of tall grass around this outpost, and a village. And it has several villagers around it. It's very interesting because I gazed at this for a long time and I couldn't find anything unusual about it. I even posted the Twitter community and asked people if they saw anything, and they didn't see anything. I just kept studying it, and I read from one person who suggested that this may be hinting toward the next snapshot this week that might be coming in light of Valentine's Day, which is this Friday. Many people are speculating that it could be a villager variance due to the nature of the tweet. You know, I just described that it's a plains biome village, it looks like. Now, technically, we do have villager variants already. Their uniforms change in accordance with the biome they live in. However, maybe it will be a village update. Perhaps it will be a slight change in their mechanics. Maybe their pathfinding will be upgraded, or maybe they are continuing on with trading rebounces that they began a while back, over a year, I believe. Your guess is as good as mine. Please let me know what you think at bio.link/realm news. I'd love to hear your opinion, so drop me a DM or email or choose one of the socials there to message me. People have reason to think that they will release something this week for Valentine's Day. They do have good reason. They have in the past. In fact, last year they announced a new mob that I made an episode over, the Bogged. Allow me to play some of that episode that was made in honor of the Bogged last year. We are now going to discuss the Bogged in Minecraft. The Bogged was introduced to us by Mojang themselves in Snapshot 24W07A on Valentine's Day or February 14th, 2024 this year. According to Minecraft Wiki, the Bogged was being slowly introduced to us in the trial chamber. They were warming us up to it before the snapshot. When the trial chambers were initially available for testing, they had skeletons in there with poison-tipped arrows. The same poison-tipped arrows that the Bog took over when they were introduced on Valentine's Day. After the Bog's initial appearance on Love Day, a couple of weeks later, they altered the design to have mushrooms growing from its head. Who knows? There may be more alterations to this mob before 1.21 releases. Now, allow me to describe this murky monster to you in its current form. Imagine your generic overworld skeleton, how they are just exposed white bones. Well, the Bog looks off-white, like a dirty sock, tinged with moss and algae patches all over its cranium. Its mouth is also full of this dark green fungal matter and decomposing swamp waste. Its eyes remind me of Herobrine's or White Eyes, but with a lesser degree of luminosity. The bottom third of all four of its extremities is the color of soot, which reminds me of mud due to its mindlessly roaming the mangroves and swamp biomes. Moving on to its torso. The Bogged has a tunic made of what looks like moss or mangrove debris. Very dashing look, good sir. There is a sash that goes across its chest, made of the same foliage as its tunic. I assume the sash is part of its quiver, but I do not see a quiver. Maybe it was for attaching the bow to its back when not shooting, or its swamp regalia. Now, let me get back to the mushrooms that I mentioned earlier on its head. Yes, the Bogged has mushrooms on its head, specifically a red flight agaric mushroom growing and a brown mushroom growing opposite from the flight agaric. It is a sight to see, truly a daunting mob. The Minecraft swamp soil and water did not preserve this new foe like it did our friend, the Toland Man. Gosh, that was pulled straight out of the time capsule. That was part of the titled The Minecraft Bogged and the Toland Man episode, as titled. You can find that wherever you enjoy podcasts. It was episode 13. It released last year on April 25th, 2024. However, people believe that something will release this year, 2025 Valentine's Day. I am up in the air on this because last year, Valentine's Day was on Wednesday. This year, due to leap year, it's on Friday. Mojang never or rarely has released snapshots on Fridays or on the weekend for that matter. It is always typically Monday through Wednesday, perhaps a couple Thursdays. If I am remembering correctly, fact check me on that, folks. I'm only human. I can only remember so many dates in my little brain. However, I don't know if they'll release anything this year. For Valentine's Day, I should say. And also, I kind of feel like in light of all these variants, we've been getting 3 mobs now, pigs, cows, and now chickens have received variants. They may be just doing some bug fixes this week. That's just a feeling. I know a lot of people want the snow biomes to be visited they're hoping that they'll add ambiance and some flora to that desolate biome and maybe some mob variations. But I have a feeling maybe we won't see anything. But, and I hate keep saying buts, but I don't know. We'll find it. We'll find out in good time, I suppose. Now, I would like to now discuss something more relevant. Actually, it hasn't released to the public yet, unless you are a Realm News Patreon member, which I suggest you go sign up for. This Thursday is part 2. The Sun King and I discuss Minecraft additions to the game. These are strictly our personal wants and daydreams. It was a ton of fun to talk all this with the Sun King and my Realm News artist. I love his ideas. Now, I'd like to play a sneak peek into this Thursday's episode right now.
So what if, you encounter a villager who's lost from his village, but around a village, and you give him an emerald and he takes you back to his village?
I would.
Right?
That would be cool.
Right? And what if, as he's walking you there, he zombifies? Like
A
he'd been
plot
bitten.
twist. There could be a percentage of him turning.
And it's not always, but it's still like, you don't know. You could be walking through a dark woods, when you're out there far away from your home base and you see a villager and you're like, well, okay, cool. You can lead me to civilization. You can make that a trading option where you can give him an emerald. And then maybe there's a percentage afterwards that he zombifies on you and goes after you.
I love that. That's a fun idea. That
right?
Is intriguing.
Because we become attached to our villagers.
We create We
so.
Do. Personally, I love Sam's thoughts like the one he talks about in that clip. Wouldn't that be fun to encounter a stranded villager in the middle of the overworld country? A little side mission in a sandbox world. I also like the fact that you can choose to ignore the villager instead of helping them get back home without any consequence. I think this would keep the game true to its nature of being an open world without a preset game objective or mission. You could incorporate this into your own headcanon or lore, like why you're finding this random stranger in the middle of nowhere that needs help. I'm excited to make another one of these episodes with the Sun King, where we just talk about fantastical ideas that we would like to see implemented into the game. In fact, the next time he comes onto the show, we're already planning on making another one of these type of episodes. That wraps up all I have for this week's Realm News Flash. I hope you are all enjoying these new snapshots as much as I am. I wish you all happy crafting, and I will see you all this Thursday for part 2. The Sun King and I discuss Minecraft ideas. The Dark Lord. Signing out. Hello, Realm News fans. I just want to pop back in here and tell you all how much I appreciate you for listening to the show. It means the world to me that you tune in every week to hear me, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am honored to be your host and to deliver weekly original Minecraft content with Realm News Flash and Realm News on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you enjoy the show, I would love it if you would tell your friends about it and encourage them to follow it. Hit that like button and leave a comment. On Spotify, you can leave comments on individual episodes. The same on Good Pods. I'm not sure about all the other podcast player platforms out there, but I appreciate feedback. So please comment if you're able to. If you cannot comment wherever you listen to Realm News, then you can by following Realm News on Twitter, now X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or email. All links are found at bio.link/Realm News, all lowercase. Again, that is bio.link/Realm News. There, you can become a Realm News Patreon member. I urge you all to sign up for the Copper or Diamond tier and get early access to episodes, bonus episodes, newsletters, and ebooks. Find my prices on Patreon link, all at bio.link/Realm News. I understand times are tough, and I do not expect anyone to give money. I'm just saying that if you're able to, it is very much appreciated. If you don't have money to give, then go to the free tier membership and sign up today. We have a tier for everybody. So no excuses. Go sign up. With that said, I wish you all happy crafting. I look forward to talking to you at the next Realm News. The Dark Lord signing out.